just noticed that all these bands weren't, it's not really a place for these bands. So you got these punk bands that play, playing these old grungy clubs and stuff. They weren't getting a chance. I mean, the idea that nobody'd asked Annihilate to play a large festival like that kind of blew me away.
Let's just open up, if we can, with Josh, what you're excited about this year.
It's Ocho. I mean, it's the 8th year. We're really excited about it, I guess. We're on cruise control at this point, so we got about a month left. 29 great Springfield bands. We kept it all Springfield this year. In the past, we reached out to some regional bands, but for this year, we decided just to keep it all 100% local, as it should be, and I think we have the best acts from Springfield right now and playing.
What is the, I don't want to say main event, but what's the main beer or the main food or the main thing that you're looking at outside of the awesome bands? What's one thing that sticks out?
What? We're going to have, as always, we have over 100 different craft beers. We're incorporating every local brewery this year. So Anvil Forge, Buzz Bombs, Obed and Isaacs are all going to be there. So we're really looking forward to that. As for single beer that I'm looking forward to, I don't really handle that end. I just drink them.
So you didn't ask me to help you with Downhome TV, and it hurts my heart.
Yeah, I shot everything myself. I just did
Selfish.
I shot one day. I put 2 cameras really close together and just did manual focus with one and just hoped that the autofocus worked on the other one.
I cried a little bit. I saw this whole channel up, and I'm like, I know the people and the guy that shot it. I like it.
So I was really happy with that. The autofocus worked really well on it, and the room sounded really cool because when the musicians were playing in that room full of guitars, it was just like 1,000 little amplifiers, you know what I mean? So it was like, it sounded well, and I actually recorded most of it on a Zoom, like a little Zoom recorder.
This
like
one?
Yeah.
Not this one.
And with some decent condenser mics in there, and then you know what? I ended up not using it on all of them. I ended up using, because I had a on-camera microphone too, like a Rode, and most of the time the Rode sounded better than the Zoom, just because it was so. I think the frequency of the bass was just much more in tune with the Zoom, so it was a little bit overdriven. I didn't quite like it as much. So, I mean, it was usable. It wasn't overdriven where it was, something's wrong with it. I just felt that the other one was just a little bit better.
How many do you have for the full package?
So we worked out a deal with Capital City Music, which great guys over there, Matt Waldoff and Matt Wu and Eric. So we signed on for 5. They signed on to sponsor 5 episodes. So another one comes out tomorrow, and then we'll have another one next week. I'd like to get together with some musicians and shoot a few more, and just kind of keep it rolling throughout the year. And obviously, I'd like to do all 29 performers this year. And keep it kind of rolling throughout the whole year. So we'll see if I don't run out of steam.
So this has grown into something hopefully larger than what you envisioned in the beginning. From the last day of last year when you walk away until the prep, what forced you? I have to do this. I have to do this.
I don't. It's weird. I'm always been hugely into Springfield. I'm very pro Springfield, and you go to any other town, say Peoria, Bloomington, or whatever, they don't have nearly as many bands as we have. And then I just kind of cruising around town. Always was involved in going to the festivals and stuff that they had out on the streets. From Taste of Downtown to the Blues, whatever festival they have, and I just noticed that all these bands weren't, it's not really a place for these bands. So you got these punk bands that play, playing these old grungy clubs and stuff. They weren't getting a chance. I mean, the idea that nobody'd asked Annihilate to play a large festival like that kind of blew me away. And I just figured that, it would be a great opportunity. So one of my good friends, Shane Turnage, who was the manager of Celtic, was like, he had done a festival down in Carbondale that was kind of loosely the same. The band sold tickets. The but the bands kept the tickets. You know what I mean? That's how they earned money. And I know that's a lot of places used to do that. You get tickets for sale, whatever you sell, that's how much money you make. You know what I mean? So you fill the room. So we kind of brainstormed, and he brought me this idea. And without Shane, that Downhome would never happen, because he was like, we should put this on. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. We need to find a way to get, compensation, to where we're not paying these bands out of pocket, obviously, because we could never afford it at that point. So we were like, let's just give them the gate. If they're happy with this, let's provide this venue where it's basically unlimited amount of people. You know what I mean? And then we'll just we take a little bit of administrative cost at the top to pay for one of the stages. Now there's 2 stages, so the gate pays for one, the business pays for the other, and then the rest is the bands to keep. And I don't know why I felt the need to do it, but I've completely taken it over because Shane moved to Bangkok, and so it's me and Jay Wheeler.
I saw him a couple weeks ago.
He was in town visiting.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in town visiting in early May.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what it was. I just felt like us original musicians in town don't have as many opportunities as, say, some of the cover bands, because they get paid thousands of dollars to play these bigger places that are really popular, and deservingly. So I'm not knocking that, but I just felt that we, as original musicians, needed the platform too. So that's why, I'm an original, songwriter. So it's like I want the same opportunities as everybody else. So if you don't get it, sometimes you just have to create it. So
that's what I was gonna say. It's really inspiring. Not to at this point, I don't have to kiss your ass. I don't. But I want to give you compliments, but I have to find the best way to do it.
Sure.
And by looking at it, it's from my point of view, you can't be. There are people that could say, I deserve this. I want this. I'm entitled to this. But instead, you just go out and do it. And that's definitely inspired to me in a sense of things that I'm doing of the only limitations are a negative attitude, really.
Yeah,
And
sure.
you're going to find a way to do it. And this isn't like a self-help show, but people have, if anyone has followed what you do or what I do, I hope they understand that there is no bankroll behind it. There is no, okay, here's a large investment dumped into what you want. It's you just figure out how to get it done and you do it. And you fail really, really hard for a long time. And once you get one point of progress, I hate the word success because it comes with weight, but once you achieve progress, you just want to do it, make it bigger, do the best, whatever it is that you can. And essentially you're doing the same thing that if there were a business, we'd be in the same business of a platform. With this brand, whatever you want to call it, multimedia thing, I want to build a platform for other people to stand on and to share their ideas and their art and their passion. And that's the exact same thing Downhome has done. And that's why I'm just so thankful that I get keys to the castle to do anything creative that I want, because you trust me. And last year I got to live stream the whole thing. I don't think anybody's ever done that.
No, absolutely not.
I think it was a very ambitious undertaking.
I think it's great.
But I just wanted to do it. Like, I think there's people at home.
You did one song from each group? Is that how you did it?
No, I did pretty much every song from
Really?
every group. Yeah, there were a handful of bands that I couldn't get to, but I hate to say I'm cherry picking. But I have to see these people, and if there's somebody at work, or if there's somebody at home, or there's somebody that can't get out, I want them to be able to enjoy these sets just the same.
Sure.
And I have ambition to do things bigger this year, much as you're bringing new things.
Just when you set it up for the pay-per-view, I just want to cut.
I'm not in the business of selling your intellectual property.
Baby, I want my money.
But what I do want to do is to open up that door for other people. I think it's extremely ambitious, and I don't want to say what the plans are for this year, but I do have I have large plans. So
sure.
I can't say what I'm going to do. However, if I could help everyone see it and everyone be entertained, that would be the goal.
Sure.
Of what I'm doing.
I have no problem with it being streamed. I think music is one of those things that needs to be shared. And as far as I'm concerned, musicians don't make money off their music anymore. They make money off touring and merch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when it comes down to it, the most important thing is that the bands be heard, because then they'll have a chance to actually sell some stuff they need.
That's my thought. My thought is, oh my gosh, I caught the last tail end of this band. I can't believe there were that many people there. I can't believe that they were playing this style. And I want people to simultaneously Google, because we live in a world where you can open up a window and have that the live stream of them playing, and then I want them to go through their feed and say, oh, they're playing next week, or I can buy a t-shirt, or I can buy this stuff. Even if they can't get out there, they can still support it just the same. I don't want to say I'm running out of steam, but I have to think about what I'm saying before I say it, and it's not always easy.
No,
it isn't. Tell me about the iterations of the 7 bands that is Josh Catalano. So
oh, wow.
are we cutting it down, slimming it down just a
You
little bit?
know, I've had a hard time with it, to tell you the truth. One of my best friends in the world, and I've been playing with him forever, as long as I can remember, 20 years, Jordan Lair. He moved to Florida back in September. So, and he's been in every band.
Yeah, I was going to say all
Every single one of them. And I would never have a band without him. I wouldn't even dream of it. But he decided to move to Florida. Congratulations to him. But it kind of hit me pretty hard in a way that I got kind of out of playing music for a little while. And that was in September. So I played 2 shows since then. Both of them were like reunion shows, one with Laser Dudes and one with Damn Well Better, so no new material or anything like that. So to keep the tradition alive, of course, I wanted to play Downhome, because, like I said, me and Dave were the only 2 musicians, lead guys anyway. I'm sure some of the smaller, like session guy players, have played Downhome, so I wanted to redo it, and then I was really thinking pretty hard about what I wanted to do future-wise. So I thought about pretty much giving up music, which is asinine. And my wife Kate was like, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard." But I think that break really gave me a lot of perspective, and so I'm going to start my 47th band called Wayward Motel.
I can't wait!
And our first show will be sometime past August. I have 2 shows booked under the moniker Josh Catalano, Downhome, and one at
How do you have 2
Denney
shows booked and you don't have a name? Like, that's
no,
my question.
I have a name.
Here's a playbill. This is us. It's gonna sound kind of like this, but not like that.
Yeah,
But we'll bring at least 15 people. I promise. If people are drinking, they'll enjoy it. Like,
No.
how does that work?
They asked us to play, and I said, I don't have a name. And they're like, we have to put something on the poster. I said, put Josh Catalano.
That's fine.
That's what's on the Downhome poster. That's what's on theirs. And I didn't want to rush into a name, because it's all new material mostly.
Branding is important.
Yeah, so I had an idea that I wanted to kind of get, and I wanted to nail it. So our last show is Josh Catalano. Will be August 3rd at Dannenberger Wine. And then from then on out, I'm just in a band again.
Nice. That's awesome.
Writing a bunch of new material, and practicing every week, and
That's exhausting. That's gotta be.
it's fun.
Let's do best and worst. Not best, least favorite. Best and least favorite memory. Maybe you're looking forward to. And then I want to do something untraditional if we can.
Sure.
After this, let's flip it on auto, and then just have you guys stay here for a second.
Okay.
So I can say thank you to you guys.
So you want me to start?
We can cut it at any time because it's digital. So every year and this is crazy to say every year because I didn't know this was going to be a thing, but it's morphed into something that's amazing that I get to be a part of it every year. We get to go on this journey together. But every year I try and ask how it's evolved. What are you looking forward to? What are you least looking forward to? What this year has got you just super pumped?
So just like every year, I think the most thing that gets me, I'm so excited about, is the community aspect of the whole thing. I consider a lot of these musicians that play year after year and are part of this as my brethren, and I love them. And they're a big deal to me, and that's one reason Downhome is so important to me is because I get to do this for them. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sound like I'm a huge giver. I'm sure my wife wouldn't say that, but I think that it's really important that I, help my friends because I love them so much and I want them to be able to have this experience for themselves. And I feel like that I'm, doing something great for the community and for the people that come see my shows and the people that we go see their shows. And it's just the whole community aspect where I get to actually hang out with all these guys in one place is pretty phenomenal.
That's awesome. What's one thing that you would redo or you're adjusting this year? Because I hate to say least favorite moment. It's that's not a good way to phrase it. So
Sure.
what's something that you would evolve on? Maybe there's a challenge last year, and we are going to overcome that challenge with this.
Well, we've always fluctuated with attendance. We've always been real close to 10,000 for the last few years. And we had the biggest Friday night we've ever had last year, which was really great for us because we had brought in a band from Philadelphia called Amara as one of my favorite bands of all time. And it was kind of a selfish booking because I really wanted to see them. So that's why I booked them. I didn't think about anything else other than that, but I thought it was a huge deal, and a lot of people thought it was a big deal also. This year, I went back to being more traditional, and I went completely all local, which started the whole thing in the first place. And not that I wish that I had maybe brought in something a little bit bigger, but I really want to grow. Mm-hmm. And while the bands we have here are excellent, to kind of break that threshold, I think that we need to start bringing in some national acts. Just one.
I agree because it will put us, so forgive me, I'm joining a team. It will put Downhome on the radar for other people that have never heard of it.
Exactly.
And you can get and just broaden that audience. Yeah, and it stinks, but it's something that's necessary evil.
And I want to be more of a regional thing. I want people from Champaign and Bloomington, Peoria, St. Louis, Chicago to want to come down to the festival and see our local, not only see a national act that we brought in, but also spend the whole day there by seeing our great musicians. So that's a major deal for me. So that's one thing I wish, and I did reach out to a lot of people, and I had a specific budget that I wanted to spend, but it didn't work out. So, and not that I'm upset about that because I think all local is amazing. So, but I just want it to grow, and that's the only way I can see it growing.